Alright. Täällä on spämmiä kovassa vauhissa. Just tuntuu, että mulla on mennyt varmaan mun mikkisäädöt jossain vaiheessa. Tai sitten ei, en tiedä. Mä oon potkinut sitä. Hoi! Koko ajan punaisella.
As you look at the floorboards in this corner of the shack, it's clear one of them isn't quite level with the others. The edge of a floorboard next to it looks scratched.
Move it
The
aside.
space underneath the floorboards is dark and damp. You can barely make out the mixture of sand and sawdust below.
What's in here?
Nothing particular catches your eye. Looks like more reeds. There might be something hidden inside the sand, though. Something bad. Someone's night thoughts. A last resort. A bad idea.
Search through the sand and sawdust.
Stick your hand in and start combing through the sand. Dry, not like outside. Fine dust. And then something hard wrapped in paper.
Mun ase.
A small cylindrical object. You pull it out. A bullet.
No.
A 9mm bullet, to be exact. Fit for all muzzle loaders of that caliber.
This bullet isn't for a breech loader like the murder weapon.
The floorboard isn't interested. Maybe the washerwoman is. You have enough to confront her with.
Tuntuu, että se tyyppi, ketä me nyt jahdataan tässä, niin se on se, joka on ostanut sen meidän aseen. Mutta se on ostanut sen meidän aseen vasta siinä vaiheessa, kun tuo murha on tapahtunut, suojatakseen itseään siltä oikealta murhaajalta, joka käytti eri asetta. Tää on mun teoria. Ja mä en oo väärässä.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with?
Why was there a bullet under the floorboards of your shack?
Damn that girl.
And without anger, a long and harsh life has taught her not to buckle under pressure.
A bullet? You didn't put it there, did you? She did.
Gone and hid things in there? She's usually a good tenant, and not a stupid one either.
You rented the room to her.
Yes, I let my room to that Ruby girl.
Ruby.
As I've done before when she's been in trouble or just looking for solitude. I've made it clear. We welcome all kinds of people here.
When was this?
She came last Friday, left on Monday in a hurry. What has she gotten herself
Hello.
into, that girl?
That's for the police to find out. Right then, please answer each question to the best of your ability. I'm sure we have a few.
You said she left on Monday.
Yes, early with the dogs, around 8 o'clock, I think.
She probably heard the lieutenant's Kanema drive by, and it woke her up, just like it did you.
Kim, she must have heard your kinema.
Yes. That is a downside of having a 130 kilowatt engine. It lets the bad guys know when you are coming.
His voice is tinged with pride. Is the room exactly as she left it?
I cleaned it, like I always do.
Was there anything else there?
No,
The truth, sire.
What is she like, Ruby?
she's good company. Knows how to talk to an old woman. At my age,
Et missään
I don't
yhtään
get a
mitään.
lot of
Vasta
quality
aloitettiin.
conversation. So I really appreciate that about her.
Löydettiin luoti lattian alta, ja nyt me kysellään siitä luodista ja siitä tyypistä, joka sen luodin on piilottanut.
Did she talk to you much during her last stay?
No, she was mostly silent this time. Kept to herself.
What do you mean?
She tried not to let it show, but I could tell she hadn't come to fish. Usually she likes to cast a few lines, but this time she mostly stayed in her room.
Why do you think she left the bullet there?
How would I know? She's a gruff one, but not violent. She doesn't go around toting a gun.
You could ask her about your hunch, that it was a desperate measure. See if she thinks Ruby fits the bill.
I have a possible explanation in my mind.
Aye, do tell.
It's an exit plan.
Exit from what?
Her life.
The lieutenant stops writing for a moment. He looks at you, then at the old woman.
No, she's a fighter.
She really believes that.
Did she have any technical equipment with her, like radio stuff?
Not that I know of, though she was into nice music. She once showed me a few mixtape milieux she'd made. Although I guess she was pretty handy with the mechanical and technical stuff. Even fixed the heater in the shack. You should be thankful for that.
She may simply have kept the equipment elsewhere.
Where did she go?
I don't know. Further up the coast, she tried to leave quietly, but the hinges on that door screeched like a cat in heat. Woke me up. I heard her rushing in those heavy boots, heading up north.
It's a peninsula. She might be trapped.
You'll never find her, you know. She knows the coast like the back of her hand. You only just arrived.
I wouldn't worry about that, ma'am. We are persistent.
This is a cool moment. It needs a cool thing to be said.
It needs a cool thing. Say the cool thing. Let's rock with our cock. Yeah. Further up the coast we go then.
Are you sure you would rather stay here? Get a nice cozy fire going in the heater? Seems like a better idea to me.
The Feld electric mural. You feel like you should go look at it again. Step closer this time.
Nyt me päästään sinne taloon.
One thing, officer. If you do find her, please go easy on her. She's a good girl. Whatever she's gotten herself mixed up in.
Yes. Dun, dun. Mä tosta pääsen. Täällä taas.
You see, a once bright mural towering, a slogan used to intertwine
Step
with the
closer.
leaves a long time ago. Now, only above the mural, a collapsed roof, broken windows set in walls that are cracking and will soon also fall, and the coastal breeze rustling and sighing in the remains of the edifice. Feld Electrical. How ironic. All these dark rooms. Feld Electrical. You only know them as a small company that makes ink cartridges. Looks like they used to be big. There's something in the wind. Sometimes the only way to go forward is to fail first.
Could Ruby be in there?
In there? She could. Or she could be in the identical room over there. Or in that boat shack. In that church tower, maybe.
Why single out this one building?
Found the empty trap, heard Lina's true story, reconstructed execution. Tossa on aika hyvä chanssi onnistuu. Made that awful call, established the nightclub, discovered the anomaly, found the jacket. Kaikesta tohon saakin.
Even though you're
Ja silti tuplakuutoset vielä.
all is quiet. There is no cold hand brushing against your forehead. No rustle in the reeds. The wind has died down. The ruin in front of you is silent as a tomb.
What was I even attempting to do here?
Trying to talk to the wind. The city, whatever you thought would happen, did not. And now you're just standing there with your hands fallen to your side. Is trying to talk to the city something you've done before? Is it in your secret repertoire? A trick for when you're out of ideas?
She could be anywhere. How do we find her?
How do we? I was really hoping she'd be in the village. Okay. She's probably north of the village, and this place is a peninsula. We already scanned most of the outdoor areas on our wild cryptid hunt, so we have an understanding of the geography, at least. And then there's the church. We've already searched that and can rule it out. I know it doesn't feel like progress, but exclusion is a step too. Anyway, we do it the old-fashioned way, sector by sector. Go over the whole peninsula, ask the locals, enter the places where we can enter first, like we did in the village.
And if that fails, if we don't find her,
Then, if we're desperate, we can look where we can't enter. Bunkers, storm drainage, this place. I'm sure it won't come to that.
Walk the coast, the old boardwalk, the reeds. You can always come back here and talk to the wind again. Look where it already got you. An adventure awaits. An adventure on the windswept urban coast.
ne pitää uudelleen rullaa. No voi vitsi. Listen to the wind again.
A breeze, like a quiet sigh.
Ei oo todellistaa.
The cool air breaks across.
Eka tupla kutonen, mitä ei olisi tarvinnut, ja sitten tupla ykkönen, mikä on tyyli ainoa, joka voi feilaa tässä.
Go to the children of the big sea.
What the hell was
The
that?
wind rushes away, leaving you where you were.
Work with the children of the big sea.
Of the felled building.
Officer, are you okay? It looked like we lost you for a second.
The wind told me to talk to children. Let's roll.
Okay, when you're ready, officer.
Voi. Onneksi me voidaan sentään levottaa tätä. Onko meillä jotain vaatteita, millä me saadaan tärinöitä paremmaksi? No tuolta löytyy heti vähän lisää tärinöitä. Pitää saada sopiva tärinä päälle. Kato, tuolta löytyy lisää. No niin. Tuotkin. Meillä on kohta semmoset kuule väpätykset menossa, että... Tai sit me heitetään toiset tupla ykköset. Nyt se on varmaan se 97. Niin, just näin.
Towers above you.
Ja ykköset.
Suddenly,
Ei
there's a
sentään.
sigh, carried on the molecules around you, moving, flowing from high pressure to low pressure, like that of a woman emptying her lungs. She wraps the collapsing stone box in front of you in her breath, flowing through it,
Where does it go?
in through the collapsed roof, flowing down a concrete staircase to the basement, sweeping away footprints in the dust on the stairs, and then the beach below the boardwalk. Its winding tunnels, a whisper away.
What is happening?
She's down there.
I think she's down there, below this building.
Okay, why?
We've looked everywhere else.
Right. How do we get in there? The doors were on the collapsed side of this building. They're gone, basically.
Finally, my time to shine.
There's a ladder next to the sign. Perhaps we can climb it. Enter through the roof.
Perhaps you can climb them. We are not climbing anything. I'm 43 years old, and I plan to live to see 70.
Ihan sama mulla. Mun pitää vaan vetää mun bilevaatteet takaisin päälle. Yes, let's go. Ja housut meillä on jalassa. No niin, kato tuotkin pääsee. Mitä? Let's go!
Rusty ladder leads to the rooftop. Some of the rungs are missing.
Kai tääkin vaatii sit jotain.
That doesn't look good at all.
Assess the situation.
The distances between the remaining rungs are rather wide. You'd have to use the mounting brackets. However, they seem corroded and the peeling rust is razor sharp.
Voi voi.
In addition, the first rung is going to be tough to reach. It's what, 3 meters above the ground, and you're 180?
180 seems about right.
Not to mention that the roof is collapsing and the wind gets pretty brutal up there. Dismounting from the ladder is going to be hard. Perhaps if you were to not climb the ladder. Instead, what if you were to do something more subtle? What if you were to reconceptualize climbing the ladder?
What?
Astral projection. Be open-minded about this.
What if I don't climb? What if I just teleport?
Teleportation is not a thing.
Teleportation is a thing, just needs a bit of concentration.
Okay, let's say teleportation is a thing. Wouldn't you need some kind of scientific apparatus to create a teleportation field? You can't just do it without apparatus.
What are they talking about?
Teleportation, Mikhail. It's generally thought impossible.
It won't hurt to try.
Oh yes, it could hurt. A lot.
So, Tiago climbing. 92. Teleport to the roof.
All you need to do
Why not?
is close your eyes and concentrate. Darkness enfolds you. You can feel the distance between the bench and the first rung of the ladder. All you need to is
Do it.
zoot, zap, pow, crinkle. It's like magic. You feel yourself disappear. Your atoms fade.
Miksi tää tuntuu siltä, että tässä ei vaan jaksettu animoida?
Oh my god, I can't believe it.
Bam! You find yourself on the roof, having mastered the art of physical displacement.
I did it, Kim. I teleported.
I just saw you climb the ladder. You just climbed it like a regular person.
Niin, just näin.
No, not like a regular person. Like a phase spider. The wind at the top of the building starts howling loudly, blowing away the lieutenant's voice. Faintly you hear.
Never mind. Find a way to let me in when you get inside. Don't go adventuring without backup, especially if we think the suspect may be hiding here.
Yes. Central support beam has been destroyed by artillery fire. Stones fall, it's a long way down. Nää on ikkuna, mitä mä... The glass is covered with grime and dust, you can barely see out. Niin, toi oli varmaan se teksti, mikä siellä oli. You can barely see in. Hei. Hei. Postikortti. No. You should take out your flashlight. Mä unohdin, että mulla on semmonenkin. Alepakassista ei vaan päästä irti. Ikinä ei tiedä, mistä voi löytyä pulloa. This collapse nearly sealed the basement. One can barely squeeze by. Antiquated office furniture, last century maybe. Brought down and forgotten so long ago. This overturned table is covered in orange mildew, crawling with something. No kai nyt päästetään se sisään. Mistä se löysi jonkun niin?
Two rusty metal plates that slide apart form a crude door. It's been here under the boardwalk.
Who's there? Kuka siellä?
What do you mean, who's there? It's me, Kim. Stop playing around and help me get the door open.
Push the doors open.
The doors seem to be on rails, but they've gotten jammed. You grab a side and put some strength into prying it open. With the help of your partner, the two metal panels slide open with a creak.
Huh. I hope no one dangerous heard that.
Oh, did you even get there?
After you climbed up to the roof, you mean? There's a maintenance entrance under the boardwalk. It's next to a drain pipe, possibly a storm drain. It was easy to miss before.
Could have saved me the effort.
At least now we have an exit, so let's get going. It's time to investigate these passages.
Joo. Old file folders in the cart. Documents silvery with mold. Kaikki on homeessa. Thick dusty bundles of glass. Rotsi. In the beam of the flashlight, a crevice in the wall. Ui vitsi. Uusi hattu. Damn, nice. Yes! Nyt meidän look on complete.
This hat is so soft, so warm. It wraps around your head, and your mind tingles with all manner of socio-economic theory.
This is an Ushanka, right?
Kraz Mazov would have worn this Ushanka. Mazov knew where to cook those thoughts. That's why it bears a Mazovian logo. Glory to the revolution, comrade. Whether you like it or not, wearing this hat has made you more communist.
Totta kai. More communist than ever. Revolutionary propaganda on the bunk bed, ancient flyers and brochures. Pots and plates are full of dust and spider webs.
A mustachioed and mutton-chopped man, amateurishly depicted, gazes at you with sad eyes. A plaque reads, K. Mazov. There is a spider web in the lower left corner of the portrait.
Brush the dust off the portrait.
Years' worth of dust is shaken off. The full head of hair, matched by an ample moustache and sideburns, look a bit silly.
Look, it's Comrade Mazov.
Yes, I can see that. Looks like some communists were hiding out here. They left a long time ago.
The lieutenant does not seem to share your enthusiasm.
A long time ago. How long?
Half a century? This was probably part of the network of defense posts the communards built against the amphibious landing. I think the purpose of this bunker was to produce propaganda. It would have had radio equipment back then, but that's all been looted.
What's with all these secret weapons caches and secret
We have
bunkers?
found a lot of those lately. I guess what most people think of as history tends to linger in rundown neighborhoods. Martinez being what it is, no one has gone through the trouble of cleaning out the old bunkers.
Good hiding place for someone who's up to no good.
Could someone have stopped through here
You
recently?
mean like Ruby? No, I think we've stumbled on a piece of history.
Leap. Mut tuot näkis hyvin. The same slit window you saw from the outside.
Could this have been the killer's hideout? And this narrow window, the point of origin of the shot that killed the mercenary?
Peek out.
In the darkness, you can barely make out the falling snow. It settles, making the night still quieter.
Could the killer have used this as a hideout?
It is a great place to hide, and Mazovianism and killing are certainly not mutually exclusive, but there hasn't been anyone here in ages.
I can't see the whirling in rags. The shot didn't come from here.
Indeed, no one could get a clear view. Well, at least we've been thorough. I like thorough. In fact, I think we're done with this bunker. After you, officer.
Se laukaus on todennäköisesti oikeasti tullut sieltä partsilta, mutta ei sen toimesta, kenen mä luulen. An unnatural buzzing. Onks tää niinku ansa? You'll have to find another way around, totta kai. It's getting louder, the buzzing sound. Humina, humina, humina.
Again, like a swarm of hornets buzzing under your scalp. A strange tingling you can almost smell.
Do you feel something?
No, what do you mean?
A pain, a strange tingling.
I don't feel it, but we should still be careful. There were footprints back there, and I'm pretty sure they were fresh.
Hold on, you really don't feel anything?
No, but you are the sensitive one.
True.
It's not a quib. The situation is dangerous.
I saw them too. Footprints with the right sole worn
Looks like
smooth.
our suspect. If she's in here, we need to plan our next step carefully.
What do you
Once we
mean?
detain a credible suspect, who knows what the Union and the Wild Pines will do? We'll set in motion events we have no control over.
You will upset the balance of power in Martinez. The deadlock between the company and the Union will destabilize. This part of town is a fine clockwork puzzle. Disturb its peace, and it will start breaking down uncontrollably. Keep calm. Go over the whole situation in detail.
I suddenly remembered we're running the serial number on the victim's
I
armor.
think we should finish running it now. Maybe you're right. It might not be as useful later.
It's a minor point. Don't worry too much about this. There are bigger fish.
How bad do you think things could get?
Well, we are not responsible for what we can't predict, are we? I don't think the entire city will be razed to the ground.
If you can't predict it, there's nothing you could have done.
Everard knows more than he's told us. Maybe we should continue working for him.
You're right. However corrupt he may be, nothing happens in Martinez without him knowing. We might have to dirty our hands, but...
In this case, we can't afford to be squeaky clean.
We know what Joyce knows about the murder, but I may have other things to discuss with her.
Yes. There won't be time for that once things go down. Matter of fact, I don't think there's time for it now, but...
Tämä vähän vaikuttaa tämmöiseltä point of no returnilta. What do you think is waiting for us there?
I think I see a cavern. Maybe more cellars? I think we've been careful enough. We still have the element of surprise.
I wouldn't be so sure. You haven't exactly been sneaking.
Or maybe not. Either way, once we go deeper, there will be no turning back.
Once you go deeper, there's no going back. Yes. Concrete pipe buried in sand and dust. Oh. Feels strange. Ehkä tässä mun pipossa oli jotain jotenkin.
Suddenly, your entire body is paralyzed. Aggressive white noise fills your skull. A strange pain like you've never felt before. Through the static, you hear a woman's voice. It's like 1,000 radio stations are being blasted into your head all at once. But her words
Creepy.
are the only ones you can make out.
I know you're feeling pretty uncomfortable right now. Don't move too much or fight it. That'll just make it worse. Can't say it's a pleasure, officer. I was really hoping not to make your acquaintance. But here we are.
Ruby, the instigator.
As she says the word officer, you feel a spike in the agony. It sounds like the entire radio frequency range is screaming directly into your neural pathway.
Cover your ears.
No, buddy, that's not going to help. You can't shield yourself from this.
Riittäkää meillä hiiliä tämä.
Entirely new type of experience. Way worse than all the previous ones. Don't focus on the pain. Focus on doing your job. Tell her she's
You're under arrest.
Really now? Check this out.
You're overwhelmed with a new surge of violent static. It feels like a blood vessel exploded in your brain.
Are you gonna kill me too?
No, I'm not going to fucking kill you. If that had been my plan, you'd be dead already.
Mä olisin jo kuollut, jos mä en ois narkannut kaikkia mun hiiliitämeitä.
I'm using a pale latitude compressor. You and your partner have been caught in its field.
The explosion of static you're hearing, it's the ULAN frequency, blasted from that pale emitter that Angus mentioned.
I saw your equation. It's a Euland frequency.
Saw my equations? You've been sniffing through my lorry, right? I expected as much. I am a bit surprised you knew what you were looking at. A pale latitude compressor is used to sort of make the pale more manageable. With a lot of these, you can force a radio signal grid on the pale, literally crunch the distance across it. Signals are relayed across a series of
Kiva käydä jotain tämmöistä teoriatuntia tässä.
Not a fun job manning those stations. All alone out there in the pale, people lose their minds in just a few years.
So, what we are experiencing is a concentration of radio waves.
Precisely. This is an industrial strength paraboloid. It's meant for forcing dimensions on something that doesn't have them. Needless to say, the frequencies used are out of this world. At the upper limit is the large prime number generator station. It's used specifically for pale latitude compression. That's why you may be hearing some numbers. But you might also hear, or think you're hearing, local radio chatter.
She likes telling you about the machine. Keep her talking. Look for an opportunity to break loose.
How did you get your hands on this
I built
thing?
it myself.
And she's proud of it too. As she ought to be. This is way beyond your abilities.
That's illegal. I'm guessing it's patented. But we are beyond that, aren't we?
Oh yeah. Way beyond.
What's this goddamn pale anyway?
Well, it's the end of the world.
Selkeä. Will I stay like this forever?
No. Once I shut down the compressor, the pain will end. It may take a few minutes for you to steady yourself, though. It's a bit like waking out of a very confusing dream.
No, mutta sitähän me ollaan tehty all day, all night. Tere kallis. Kappas Viron radio. Jon, Ryoku, Jon, go, Jon, hachi. Have you experienced the compressor yourself?
Yeah, I stuck my head in there before using it on you. It seemed like the ethical thing to do. Can't say that I enjoyed it. The field was weaker, but I can imagine what you're going through.
This is all great, but let's talk about the man who was killed.
Yeah, let's not talk about that shit. You were hunting me and fell into my trap instead. That's all there is to say about it.
Tää nyt on hirveän tylsää, voisitko sä kertoa meille jotain?
So she thinks of you as hunters, not cops. And of herself merely as prey.
Please, could you just turn it down so I can ask you something?
If you've got something really important to say, you can do it through the white noise.
Dwa.
Looking for a deal on mattress.
Tulihan se suomen kieli sieltä. Mietikin, että missä vaiheessa tulee numerot suomeksi. Tää on kyllä hämmentävä keskustelu. Torille. Tuolla on venäjän kieli, japanin kieli, viron kieli, suomen kieli, englanti. Mitä muita? Onneksi hämmentäviä keskusteluja ei ole, niin tää ensimmäinen keskustelu. No, mut siis niinku... No, niin. No joo.
God damn it.
Fair enough.
Fine. If you really want to talk, I can dial it down. I've also got a gun, by the way.
Sillä on mun ase.
The gun she's carrying is a two-barreled front loader, not like the murder weapon.
Yes.
Well, it doesn't feel much better, but you can form sentences now. Thinking doesn't seem to hurt as much. There's only 3 meters between you and the machine. If you keep her distracted for long enough, maybe. Be careful when you make your move. That'll be it for questions. Bide your time.
How did you know we were coming?
I heard you in the passages, and I've been preparing for quite a while.
By hiding bullets under floorboards?
So you found my shack, huh? I'm not surprised.
She didn't rat you out, by the way, Isabel, the washerwoman.
So nice. That's one knife I didn't want to find to my back.
Preparing for the worst.
I was. Before I caught you in the pale latitude, Professor. I'm fine now.
That's her admitting the bullet was an emergency exit.
Did you shoot Lelu?
No, I didn't do it. I only helped stage the lynching. Though I doubt that makes much of a difference to you.
Mä jostain syystä uskon tota.
Who ratted me out, by the way? Was it Titus? No, he wouldn't have broken first.
You're right, Glacia was the first to share her suspicions.
Oh, I knew the kitten had claws, but not like this. But she couldn't have known I was on the coast. How did you find me?
Your first guess wasn't entirely off. Titus told me it took some convincing.
Oh, fuck. Took some convincing my ass. Those guys liked me, I know it. This is what happens to people whom people like.
A dull despair is creeping into her voice.
How the fuck did the rest of you get by?
Wait, wasn't it you who called me the human can opener? It's not personal, I opened them up.
I did, didn't I? Now you've come for me. Fuck them all the same.
Honestly, I don't know how I do it. I just stumbled in here. Can you please explain this shit to me?
What shit? I told you I didn't do it.
No.
Sounds pretty simple to me.
Tarvitaan nyt vähän enemmän.
A strong moral compass. She still wants the opportunity to make a case for herself.
Would you say that Lily was a likable
I
person?
didn't like him. Hardened mercenaries aren't particularly likable types.
You don't feel sympathy for mercs?
Plenty of broken people who don't come with that kind of body count. Besides, they're paid well for what they do.
Did you feel protective of the Union?
Yeah, sure. And I didn't like Wild Pines sending in those foreign hirelings. Me and a fuck ton of other people around here.
I hate to be the bearer of bad tidings, but I don't think she's perjuring herself.
I'm listening.
Do you have an alibi for when Lily was shot?
Man, I was with the boys the whole night. I hope they at least bothered to impress that upon you.
There were 10 minutes they couldn't account for.
You mean the length of a toilet break? That wouldn't even have been enough time.
Hold on, no one takes a 15-minute leak.
Look, fuck you, man. I might also have stopped by the bar.
She speaketh truth.
Our investigation has shown that 15 minutes was just enough time to commit the murder.
Wow. Now I'm curious. Please, explain.
Play pinball much?
No. Not since I was 14 and hanging out in the only diner in Dardun. Haven't been into low-risk, no-reward games since moving to the city. Why?
Never mind the pinball then, there's a secret way from the whirling bar to the roof.
Don't know it, but also,
Evaluating your competence as a police officer.
the shot couldn't have come from the roof. Or we would have all heard it downstairs.
No sit se on tullut sieltä saaraan.
She has a point there. No one mentioned.
That didn't go super well. You've got to lay something better on her.
You have a gun. I see it's a front loader. Do you have another gun somewhere?
Sure don't.
A breech loader?
No.
This is such a wipeout.
Where did you get it?
The gun store.
What
Trigger
gun
has the
store?
jacks.
What, really? Trigger?
What did you think? That I'm going to squeal on my gun supplier?
Se on se mun ase.
Not that kind of gal.
I can't quite tell. What kind of gun is it?
A Nactway 80 front loader. Two-barreled. Not really what you were looking for, I'm guessing.
That isn't it.
Do you collect guns? Maybe old rifles?
No, they're not practical. Break too often.
Okay, there's other evidence I want to ask you.
Yeah. Evidence.
Do you like to hang out on rooftops?
Who doesn't? Oh, you probably mean Claudia's rooftop. Sure, I've hung out there. She's got this great antenna.
What's so great about her antenna?
It's very powerful. I used it to tune into RCM frequencies. That's how I knew to be prepared for your arrival.
Onks toi Kiina? Is that the only reason you hang out on the roof?
The view's pretty bomb, too. But you might say the antenna was the main attraction there, yeah. Along with Claudia.
So you're sure you didn't shoot the merc from the roof?
Yes, I'm sure. And anyway, as I said before, the shot had to have come from afar.
Mie olisi oikeasti pitänyt käydä tutkia se saari. No mitenköhän sinä olisi päässyt, vai olisiko se pitänyt niillä jollain kiikareilla katsoa? Okay, let's take a step back.
Yeah? Where?
More questions before doing anything.
Who killed the merc if it wasn't you?
How should I know? As I keep saying, he already had a bullet in his head when I got to him, and there hasn't been any useful gossip over the radio.
Those rings around her eyes. Her tired voice. She's been staying up late, listening in on the conversations crisscrossing Martinez.
Police radio? You've been following the case?
Who hasn't? You know, I can still see him there, in Claus's room, lying on his side. He was still warm, but the bluish light coming through the broken window made him look as though he'd been dead for a good long while.
What happened Sunday night? Tell me your version.
She eyes you warily, as though gauging your sincerity.
It's okay. We just want to...
All right, don't kill yourself over it. I was shooting the shit with Hardy and the boys over a few beers, like always. Then Klasia comes in, all pale and shuddering. She sits down with a drink, trying to steady her nerves. So I grab a seat next to her.
Glacia said you knew something was wrong immediately.
No, I really didn't. She's not that easy to read. I just assumed she'd done too much blow. It wouldn't be a first for her. But no such luck. She was in some deep shit. She asked me to come upstairs. The merc she'd been going with was lying on the bedroom floor, dead. I knew she couldn't get the authorities involved, so yeah.
You made it look like he'd been hanged.
How did you manage to come up with a plan so quickly?
What? No. Faking a lynching was her idea.
Hold up. Her idea?
Yeah, in cold blood. It really surprised me how quickly she was able to get a hold of herself once we got up there. It was like she was another person. The party girl was gone. She asked me to help her drag him into the shower so she could wind the shower head around his neck to fake lividity. Then she dressed him while I went to get the Hardy boys.
Larsia knew exactly what she was doing. You can't remain calm under pressure otherwise. She lied to you about that, too.
That's bad that she'd be so calm.
Yeah. I wasn't sure whether to admire her or be disturbed.
Do you think she killed Lelu herself?
As I keep telling you cops, we didn't hear anything downstairs.
Mut se voi olla, että se on
Shot, nothing.
diilannut jonkunkaan, että mä nyt otan sen tohon ja pidän sen tossa noin. Ja sitten voit täältä pussi. Helppo homma.
But even if this is true, weren't you worried this lynching might lead to...
War? The thought crossed my mind. But the mercenary's death was going to have repercussions either way. Although the way things are going...
She doesn't want to talk about this, but not because she has something to hide. She doesn't want the guilt.
Fuck it. I'm not responsible for these people after what they did to me.
If you didn't kill him, why hide?
I saw you roll into town. I wasn't about to stick around for questioning by a goddamn La Puta Madre agent.
So this is what she was scared to tell Titus. This cop.
What do you mean?
Yes, you. Everyone says you're his peon, his human can opener.
Who? What?
Through the sudden sharp pain in your head, you hear the lieutenant mumble something to himself. Fucking hell. And why me? You hear through the white noise. It's especially bad suddenly. Felt like a vein exploded.
Who's everyone? How do you know this?
Everyone in Jamrock. The cops, the criminals. Why do you think I'm holed up in here with a goddamn death ray waiting for you?
If she knows that about you, she must know your real name too.
Tell me, what's my name? If you know that about me, you must know my name.
Harry Dubois. One corrupt motherfucker with the disco pants and a funny tie. Agent to La Puta Madre.
So she knows your name. That doesn't mean you're on the tape. Criminals make up bogeyman stories about cops all the time. All of this just means that you're effective. Criminals know you and are scared of you.
La Puta Madre. I've heard of La Puta Madre. He's dangerous, right?
Is that a joke or a threat? I'm guessing both.
I'm sorry, I know I'm supposed to know all about this, but I lost my memory recently.
Yeah, sure.
She doesn't believe you.
Yllis.
I'm sure La Puta Madre himself will explain it all to you soon enough.
What did you do to this Madre anyway?
You know what I did. I fucked him over. And now I have Harry Can Opener in my lair. Fucking Titus.
Wait, one thing. Possibly small, but she said you rolled into town. Was that you singular or plural? She might know something.
When I came into town, was there anyone with me?
Yeah, you had your death squad with you. What happened to them anyway?
Yeah, I don't know what happened to them.
Sure you do. I bet they're just outside waiting. I guess I'll take my chances.
Who was in this squad?
Well, it wasn't this scrawny dude. You had two guys and a lady. The guys looked pretty buff. Lady wasn't bad either.
Ollaanko me tultu sen... Häh? Vittu, tää on kyllä nyt... Onks... Koska mehän ei koskaan löydetty... Nehän sanoi, että niitä palkkasotureita oli 3. Ja yksi niistä kuoli. Ja se yksi on siellä seiskossa kölmässä. Ja me ei ikinä löydetty sitä 3. Ollaanko me se 3? Ehkä? Kai? Häh? What else can you tell me?
One of the guys seemed chipper, a blonde. The other had a brooding something or other about him. And the woman was the only one in uniform. All were carrying. That sound about right?
No idea who these people are, literally.
No, that doesn't ring any bells.
This has been a great talk, really. But I think I'm going to hit the road now.
She means it. You better make your move soon.
Hmm. 72% onnistuuko? Joo. Onnistu, yes, huhu.
You did it. The compressor lies broken on its side. It's quiet in your head again. It still hurts like hell, but...
You're under arrest.
She looks at the machine, assessing the damage. Her hand trembles.
Oh, fuck it.
Hey! What are you doing?
Problem solving.
Ma'am, put the gun down. That's not the solution to your problems. You are...
Oh, yes it is.
Vittu, vaan 58. 5 onnistu.
You should know the words to say. You've been here yourself. So why is it not coming to you?
Why am I standing here like an
Because
idiot?
you've been going around pointing a gun at yourself, trying to answer the same question in vain. Her finger squeezes the trigger now.
She doesn't
A
deserve to do.
smirk crosses her face as she watches you stand there, mute. Then she exhales sharply, shakes her head, and pulls the trigger. You watch as her brains trickle out through her neon hair.
Mä oon aika varma, että se ei ollut toi.
Lieutenant Yefreitor Dubois, control your emotions. We did our job. This won't be the worst thing that happens on this case, believe me. You can't let this break you.
There is no coming back from this one. It will stay with you in nightmares.
We clean up. It may take days for processing to pick up her body. We need to move it somewhere. That tent there.
Kui muna, kun mä olisin halunnut puhua sen kanssa vielä enemmän. Tossakin olisi varmaan ollut chanssi vaan silleen, että en tiedä vittu. En tiedä.
The plain red tent stands by.
Ärsyttää, nyt ärsyttää sikana.
It was pitched by practiced hands. She was used to camping out. You see, a rolled up sleeping bag and personal.
Ja vittu tupla ykköset vielä kaiken lisäksi.
We should put her in the sleeping bag, so the rats don't get to her.
The lieutenant nods. There she lies, cocooned in the sleeping bag, surrounded by empty cigarette packs, books, and half-read magazines. Magazines? You should look through them. Assorted soft covers, mostly pulp horror. A motor carriage lies buried in the snow on one cover. On another, a ghost airship. You also see a collection of radio enthusiast magazines.
See anything?
Rager Monthly, Journal of Material Science. More Technological Digest. One of the magazines doesn't have images on the cover. It's not a magazine, it's a leather notebook. You pocket the worn brown leather journal. She watches by, motionless.
We should read this immediately. Like, right now.
A thick journal. The cover is worn like someone used to carry it around in their back pocket. It's made of full-grain leather. The lower left corner of the back cover sports an embossed brand name, Schneller. Schneller is a stationery brand from Gottwald, beloved among architects and engineers. She had good taste and must have taken what she recorded here seriously. The journal falls open. About 2/3 of its ruled pages have been filled. The large cursive of someone who writes quickly and confidently. Perhaps too confidently. Many phrases and even paragraphs have been crossed out, with tiny corrections scrawled above and in the margins. It's a mix of logistical notes, diagrams, and personal reflections, all dated.
We could learn a lot from this.
Hard to tell exactly. It's mostly noted down in code. Looks like contact information, quantities, directions.
There could be useful information about local operations in those notes. We have a junior sergeant at my station who's good with codes. I can give this to her after we finish this.
Professionalism is his coping mechanism. Esoteric radio technology. The most recent ones probably pertain to the latitude compressor, sketches, calculations of distance and density. You make out a familiar spiral shape. Short, wry observations of people and places, probably a way to pass the time on the road. Also, what appears to be attempts to sort through some difficult decisions. There are a few passages with many questions in them. The way some of those question marks trail off into ellipsis, she was going through a tough time. The first entry is from August 2nd of last year. It reads simply, I know my position is precarious. All I can do is make myself as useful as I can while looking for a way out. Remember, no one is indispensable. Nothing on March 4th. March 5th, though, well, that's bound to come back and bite me in the ass. I'm bad at this. Loyal to a fault. But that's another matter entirely. You have no idea what she means. These are personal notes. Don't expect to understand all of it. That name isn't mentioned as far as you can tell. Small wonder. Would you talk about La Puta Madre in your journal? You do see an M, though. La Puta Madre. M is mentioned on March 9th and March 15th. Great. M's peon is coming to town, no doubt to investigate the lynching. But also, I feel it in my gut to finally put a bullet in my head while I'm napping in my lorry or on a smoke break. Well, I won't stick around just to twist my own neck by constantly looking over my shoulder. Then again, isn't that what I've been doing ever since I got the call? The call? Did M call her personally? Why? Things played out just as she had feared, except you didn't shoot her. Maybe it's the old you, or maybe she was just paranoid. Been holed up here for 3 days now. I'm used to being alone and all, but I don't know when I'll be able to leave, or if I'll be ratted out. They will rat me out, of course. I've made it a point to believe in the best in people, the boys, for example. But experience tells me, did M feel truly betrayed by me? I was feeling threatened. He'd have to know if he threatened people, they'd take measures to protect themselves. Even I know that. Economic measures, first of all. Gotta make a living, right? I can still hear his voice in the receiver. Taste the plastic. The entry ends abruptly. The thick journal bound in brown leather is... The most recent entry is from today. It reads, even when I leave here, if I leave here alive, what's my next move? Staging a lynching is a crime, even if I'm not accused of murder on top of that. Forever on the run. Not really my idea of the open road. Man, I was really looking forward to winning.
I don't think she killed the mercenary. It looks like she might have been framed.
Don't get emotional.
So she died for nothing.
She was in plenty of trouble, even without the murder charge. Still, it's a nasty business.
Kim, am I really a La Puta Madre agent?
No, I don't think you are. Ask someone in your precinct if you want to be sure.
He truly does not believe you are. Perhaps he shouldn't be so trusting. His trust is well placed. You aren't. You can feel it.
Then who do you think killed the Merc?
Could have been Titus. Then again...
But no one heard the shot.
Maybe there's a hardy boy we've yet to meet, who acted as his accomplice. Either way, we need to keep an eye on him. One thing is for certain. We have business back in the whirling and rags. Questions to ask. We should get to it.
Tää on nyt kyllä hirveen likasta ja sekasta. Musta tuntuu, että on niinku... It is all show. Fucked up.
Date of birth generator.
Unohtanut nää ihan kokonaan.
You were born in the year 07. In the last year of the commune of Revachol, right before it fell, in the old military hospital on the ground floor, where people usually came to die during a snowstorm. The revolution had about 1 year left to go, and the fires were still burning bright. There were explosions in the blizzard. This was 44 years ago. You are 44 years old. The bloating might never leave your face, but beneath it, you still have some years. You still have some hope.
-1 difficulty to all physique passive. Learning cap for logic raised to 4. Yeah. Jaha. Mua nyt jäi kyllä syvästi harmittamaan se, miten tää homma loppuu. En ole tyytyväinen tähän. Mut sellaista se välillä on. Sellaista se välillä on. Onkohan meillä vielä päiväaikaa, koska haluaisin käydä tutkimassa sen saaren. Niin, kun siis tavallaan mä olisin halunnut tossa vaikka tehdä joku ekstra tallennuksen ja koittaa lataa ja katsoa miten se olisi mennyt. Mut sit taas toisaalta mun mielestä näitä pelejä välillä, tai mä itse tykkään pelaa kaikkia tämmösiä, missä on jotain valintoja sun muuta, et menee vaan sen mukaan, miten se nyt sit sattuu menee. Vaikka se välillä menis huonosti, sit se on vaan se it is what it is. Sitten ei saa täydellistä loppua. Mä tykkään jotenkin pelaa ne aina niin just silleen, että se menee niin kuin se menee ja mä teen niitä valintoja, mitkä musta tuntuu milläkin hyvältä. Yleensä siis se johtaa vaan mun pelityylillä jotenkin siihen, että mä saan aina kaikki worst endingit joka ikisessä pelissä. Syystä tai toisesta. Paitsi Dark Souls, siis kyllä Elden Ringissä. Mut kaikki Witcherit ja kaikki, niin on aina vähän päättynyt heikosti meikäläisen osa. Niin. Tässä mä kanssa yleensä jaksa niinku sit pelaa uudelleen. Olisiko täältä voinut päästä, jos olisi Parkour Pro? Ei. Milläköhän me nähtäis sinne saarelle tai päästäis sinne saarelle? Ja meneeköhän tää ihan vihkoon, jos mä käyn tai
I'm
nukkuu?
afraid we don't have time for rest stops right now, officer.
Aha, just näin. Sitä mä vähän mietinkin. Sitä mä vähän mietinkin.
Stop. Just up ahead.
Danger!
What you have isn't enough. You'll need more firepower. A ranged weapon. Water streams down your Kavazun KR2 multi-tool. It looks impressive, but what can it do against military-grade weaponry?
What am I supposed to do?
Be prepared. Wield Ruby's double-barreled pistol. What a shitty gun, but it's better than nothing.
I'm not sure I feel ready for what lies
Then
ahead.
you'd better get ready. Whatever happens, I've got your back.
Jaa. Nyt dual wieldataan. Melee ja ranged. Eikä melee mine handiin, ranged off handiin, no niin. Tai mistä tiedät, onko tää vasuri vai ei? No siinä niitä on 2 ja sitten on toi joku muija. Ja me varmaan oltiin se 3. Kuka? Häh?
Put your damn gun down. People are gonna get hurt. We need to talk this through. All right?
Nyt heitetään taas niitä tupla-ykkösiä silleen, että kaikki kuolee ja sit saadaan vittu paras ending. Yes.
Talk yourself out of this, loincloth shit fuck.
This is the mercenary at the gates. His chest rises and falls under the ceramic breastplate. His fingers reach for the butt of his sidearm. There's something very wrong with him.
He's dangerous.
This is a misunderstanding. Nothing irreversible has happened yet. You can just return to your unit and forget all about this.
The Kipt is merciful, willing to spare us if we just forget about our murdered and humiliated commander. I think we should just kill everyone, Corty.
You are all drunk. Come to your senses. You won't gun down 7 people in the middle of the street. This isn't a frontier town or a jungle outpost.
Easy, Lizzie. Let me handle it. I know guys like this. I'm sure we can come to a peaceful agreement. Ain't that right, fellas?
Peaceful.
Nest in your abdominal cavity like a little wild mouse. The masked man's words are barely intelligible, but you can hear them.
Fuck, there's the third one. How did we miss something like this?
Niin, kun mä just rupesin miettimään, että sitä me etittiin, mutta me ei ikinä löydetty. Mutta se on varmaan sit ollut siellä saarella, koska sillä oli tämmönen kiva pitkä piippu, niin se on varmaan sit ampunut sen komentajan.
The Mercenary Tribunal. If this turns into a firefight, we should take him out first.
A sound strategy. He's the leader.
What do we
My
do?
plan is not to get killed, but we have to intervene.
Stop, this is the police. The Popo is here.
Lost, comedian. You cops had your chance. Now it's fucking time for some justice.
Pig fuck!
Oh, people are gonna die today. We're not leaving it like this. These tribals hung him up for everyone to see.
Tämä on kyllä niin koomisen näköinen.
No one is going to kill anyone. Let's just put the guns down and talk like civilized human beings.
With a wordless gurgle, the killer loads his long rifle. The leader gives a small nod to the helmeted man. Suddenly, your fingers holding the grip of a gun that has just taken a life tingle. Go for it, it seems to say. No, wait. It's good you have that gun. It really is. Just soften him up first. Present an argument. I'm barely keeping you together here. This is it, the big one. If you talk to him, he will rattle you, not the other way around.
Think of an argument. No katsotaan, 72. Tupla ykköset.
All right.
Ei sentään, huhhuh.
This is an illegal tribunal. Crano would never sanction this. Who's the commanding officer? Take your pick. You only have time for one argument. Choose wisely.
You were called Dunwell once. What happened?
What always happens when you get good at your job? That name meant night raids. Fucking extrajudicial funky time. Burn villages. Shit that sounds bad on the radio. The same thing happened when we were called whatever the fuck it was. Probably won't be called Crenell for much longer either. Not after this shit.
Okay, it's not much, but he's thinking about something else, and his hand is off the gun. This did something. Now fire. Fuck them up. Do it. The muscles on your back tense up. Easy now. Tell them these men didn't do it. There's a peaceful way out.
They didn't do it.
Yeah. Who did
Sales olin minä. Mutta ei se voi olla minä. Mitä? Someone who's not... Ei se, mä en usko, että se on Klaasia, mutta Klaasia on todennäköisesti ollut mukana siinä. Se ei ollut Ruby. Someone else, someone who's not here.
How fucking convenient.
His fingers are twitching. That's a draw reflex. He's about to draw.
Siis se olisi hyvä sekä voinut olla toi kolmas äijä, koska me ei löydetty tätä mistään. Ja se saari oli ainoa paikka, mitä me ei kunnolla katsottu. Ja tää nyt on... Minä vittu tiedä. A sniper did it.
You think I'm fucking stupid, cop? What if I just shot one of your pals here, right now, huh? How about the kid? Tell me, it's a magic fucking sniper one more time.
Listen, please. This cop and this drumhead cop marshal won't decide who...
No niin, sit taas 72 pinnaa. Vittu, let's go, Red.
The Hardy Boys confessed to hanging him.
Together.
Titus said we took him.
Mä en jaksais yhtään tupla ykköstä enää.
He said it loud, in a public place.
He was shot. He was... Man, there'd be... He was shot. He wasn't hanged.
You're lying. DePaul heard it.
You heard wrong. She and these men have been helping us find the shooter.
The hanging was only a cover-up.
Fucking liars.
The shot rings in your ears, a low, tinny ring. Then the Hardy Boys yell something. The young woman stands and looks behind her. The shot has flown over her head, crashing a small pane of the glass window behind her.
I missed.
I know what I heard, Corty. They said they killed him. They said it was a good way to end a Sunday night.
That doesn't sound good. You need to change the topic now, or there will be another shot. What topic? Shots have been fired. Act before it's too late. This was a close call.
Where is Glacia? She can explain this.
Who the fuck is that?
Glacia, the woman upstairs, where is she?
She left!
No yllättäen.
Unarmed, hunched, but keeping it together.
What do you mean she left?
She left! Her room's cleaned out! Right before these assholes showed up!
We should have arrested her.
Hey, Bushman! Your little cunt isn't gonna help you out of this one!
She's gone. Forget about it now. Concentrate on this.
Aika paskat chanssit tehdä yhtään mitään. Vittu, tää meni ihan vihkoon. Tää meni niinku ihan... Oh. Saaks pelaa koko peli uusiksi? Kyllä me tiedettiin, että niillä oli 3 känni vittu. Ihan paskoja vaihtoehtoja.
What's the matter, loincloth? Got your mouth full of dick.
Shit, this is it. Tell him anything. Tell him you have more information.
Rude. Kill him.
The porcelain man raises his rifle and takes aim at you. His hands are steady, and the long barrel of the rifle sways slowly. An Easter AR-FA-7, built for taking out light armored vehicles. It will devastate you.
Dodge the shot.
You leap left. A swarm of angry lead passes mere millimeters from your side.
Vittu Matrix.
Of your coat. Feels like the lightest of tucks.
Stop shooting at me.
The man tilts his head, trying to see through the clearing smoke for the next shot. Watch out. To your left, DePaul is about to take a shot too, at Kim.
God, please.
He's aiming for the eye slot in Rude's helmet. An extremely difficult shot. 2 shots ring at once. One from the lieutenant's pistol, and the other from DePaul's. It's aimed at the lieutenant, but it misses. You hear a scream behind you. Glenn, dying in a puddle of blood behind you. His mangled torso has 2 gunshot wounds. Blood gushes out of them like red geezers. Oh God, watch out. You see two cold eyes looking at you through all the smoke and panic, and a pistol raised, aiming at your chest, point blank. Then the man squeezes the trigger. A look of happiness. His eyes seem unnaturally bright, shining like stars. Something in the fear must distort him somehow. He is evil, and the end. Here it comes. Death. You can't. There is no time. Something inside your pelvis explodes. Your entire lower body is on fire, and your legs can't support you. You fall down like a rag doll. The pain is too immense to scream. It pushes the air out of your lungs. Everything goes dark, a distant blur as you recede into it. The Hardy Boys are yelling. Someone is running, jumping over you. In the background you hear gunfire shatter glass, and then a man in pain. A familiar sound. It's Titus with a splat like meat. You hear bullets rip into him. His voice, still giving orders, grows fainter. A gurgle. He's not gonna make it. Feels slick and warm with blood. The pain is too strong to know what has happened there. Even clutching to your consciousness takes everything you got. Most of what's down there. It's all gone. Open your eyes now. You have to see what's happening. No. It's just a fear. Even if... who cares? Nothing. A persisting darkness. Dancing lights of pain. Distant shadows cast by them. Like a hellish play.
You're bleeding out. Stay with me. You hear me? Stay awake. Look at me.
But you can't. It's so hard. Your eyelids grow heavy, and the sounds ever more distant. And a cold comes over you. The lieutenant, too, is somewhere far away, almost gone. When suddenly, you sense something behind him. A shadow towering. Someone stands there, raising his pistol at him. The lieutenant does not see it. He's pushing down on your wound with both hands. Scream immediately. He's gonna die. No, you say, and hand out your firearm to him. Your hand trembles, and your eyes are full of fear. That's all it takes. There is no room for hesitation. The lieutenant moves like a spring unloaded. He grabs the gun from your bloody hand and fires behind him. You hear a roar of pain, a death scream. The sound disappears like someone pressed stop on the tape. The hulking figure, too, is gone. And so is Kim. And the whole world.
This is death. One more door, baby. One more door.
Vittu lisko aivan. Will I be a ghost now?
Brother, you already were a ghost. Up there screaming along with all of them. Scaring each other. Haunting each other. It's the living who are ghosts. The dead are silent. They don't rattle windows or write letters in blood. The living do. Leave them behind. Rest.
No. Let me back into the fight.
The fight? There is no fight. The fight is over. It was lost 1,000 years ago.
You have laid here forever. Keep falling deeper. Take the door. He's not taking it. His body is not taking it. Oh God, no. He's not disintegrating. He's swelling up instead. Over the hours, hurting, moaning in his sleep, and rotting, and being disinfected, and smelling of drugs, and feeling saliva in his mouth, drifting in painkillers, thrashing in his wound sleep.
He can't go. Not before the case is solved. There is a radio in the distance. A radio of the world. Playing sounds. Good morning, Elysium. Soon you will return to the world.
Hours turn to days. Soon we will get up again and go through it again. Finally we know what the infernal engine was outside. The clarion call.
The engine of a Caprice Kinema.
No, it was him. He is the infernal engine. Can't you see? He never stops. He only gets worse.
You see the lieutenant's familiar shape in the orange jacket. It turns double, then triple, from the pain.
Sunrise, Parabellum.
What happened?
What happened? We tried to take the diplomatic route and hoped they wouldn't attack first. They did. The major gave the command.
What happened then?
As retaliation, their rifleman tried shooting you. He missed, or you dodged.
Then what?
I shot and wounded him, while Glenn took a bullet in the spine. It was meant for me. He did not survive. Titus, Fat Angus, and Theo charged. Angus and Theo died before they made it to intensive care. Titus died in the hospital yesterday. Alain and the young musician, I forget his name, they are all that's left.
Titus is dead.
Yes. You were bleeding out by then. You warned me. I was able to disarm Cortana before he got the jump on me. I was not able to kill him, as I should have. Crenel took him. A stray bullet killed the Pole, though. And that's what happened.
And the major...
He's in a private hospital across the river. Crenel claimed him from the local butcher shop where Titus died. Turns out he's insured. We won't get to him anymore. The good news is he's not coming here either. I did some damage.
How many casualties on the Union side?
5. Glenn, Theo, Shanky, Angus, the fat one. He took a lot of bullets. And Titus. All.
Total shit show.
Yes, officer. 7 people are dead. It's not a success.
6, 7, 6, 7.
Ruby.
But what's done is done. The violence is cordoned off. The Hornets did not get into the beehive. The worst scenario has not materialized yet. And we are still alive. Both of us.
He did not expect you both to survive once you stepped between those two armies.
How bad am I hurt?
Reasonably bad. You were shot in the left quadriceps. That's your thigh. The outer side, thankfully, no major arteries were nicked. The bullet was removed and a bacterial infection treated with mercurochrome.
Can I walk?
We will see.
If it's possible, then by pure willpower alone, you are going to have to become a psycho-locomotor.
I'm a psycho-locomotor.
Good. You'll need to be. Whatever that is.
Has anyone from my station been to see me? Just. Isn't that
I
strange?
called your station after the fight. The injury was logged in. They told me they've sent officers to join you on the site.
You haven't seen any, have you?
I'm sure they are worried about you.
If not my station, then who treated
I
me?
did.
Thank you.
No need.
Are you
Not
hurt?
very. I have a concussion from the major beating me with the butt of his gun. I tried to not move too much. Things would be worse if you didn't warn me. Thank you. I did not see him coming. Stupid of me.
Okay.
Easy now.
Your balance is way off. You feel like you're about to fall over on that thing.
How are you?
My disco days are done.
Your disco days should have been done quite a while back, Lieutenant Freighter.
What did you say? Sunrise?
Sunrise Parabellum. Sunrise, prepare for war. It's an old revolutionary saying.
Is it war today?
The gates of the harbor are boarded up. The streets are a little more empty. Apocalyptic violence is yet to erupt, I am relieved to say.
Hardcore Days Inc.
I think we may have held it off, for now. Barely.
Good.
Yes, we have also completely failed. But that's okay.
Ouch.
It's not ouch time yet. You just got the Dramamine pill an hour ago. Wait until it wears off.
Dramamine? Then it's not that bad. Neither surgical nor organ damage bad, but still under the counter bad.
What happens now?
I honestly don't know.
You don't know?
Can't talk to Everard. The harbor is in lockdown. Everyone in there is outside our grasp now. And Joyce has left too.
Joyce is gone?
Yes, she left yesterday morning. To meet the board of Wild Pines, or that is what I've heard. There's a pin somewhere in the machine that keeps Connell from sending in a death squad. Maybe it's her. Maybe she kept her hand. Either way, Ruby's gone. And Classio too. We really should have arrested her.
No, ja. You checked, she's really...
Guard confirmed she left 20 minutes prior to the tribunal showing up.
Who did it then, Kim? Who killed the
I
hanged
don't
man?
know. I think the theory you presented, it's someone else outside our circle of suspects, was right. It better be. Everyone within the circle is either dead or gone. Honestly, I think our investigation has not produced a single credible suspect.
The fucking Maybells, Kim. The flowers. Mitkä
What?
kukat? They were on the roof. I did not catch them. Fucking
Every piece
butterfingers.
of garbage in the city is not connected to the case. You don't have to catch everything.
It's wrong.
Okay. It's extremely easy. There are thousands lying around. We found one, all completely unusable. It's precisely how easy it is to find one that makes the bullet useless. We should go upstairs, rethink the ballistics in situ. I agree with this. What else?
See? There's that. You can do ballistics.
Yes. God curse the footprints. Not solving the case for us. Au diable.
Ja. You know what I think about solving
He
crimes.
arches his brow. The ceiling fan patiently spins overhead.
It's hard.
It really is very hard.
That concussion must be making him dizzy.
You're not ready to give up, are you?
No. Are you ready to limp?
I'm ready.
Good. Where do you want to limp to?
The lieutenant did mention doing more ballistics. Also, it's just close enough to endure the walk.
We should check Mrs. Striimataan Alicia's room upstairs.
Why not? Another look at the window, perhaps? The one he was shot through. I don't know. I can't think of anything better.
Tota.
What's this? We're getting reports of normal, reasonable, temperate, political opinions somewhere in Martinez.
Häh? Ei nyt ei kyllä jaksa.
Been a force.
Ei jaksa tommosia. Tuota. Meillä on quick save. New save. Me voidaan tehdä tästä uusi tälleen. Sitten meillä on tää Whirling Grass, Day 6. Meillä on täällä joku Day 1 save. Mun mielestä mä oon tallentanut, ei kun niin, mä oon tallentanut tähän päälle, se lukee Day 1, mutta se ei kyllä todellakaan ole Day 1. Koska mä haluan tehdä tohon, ootas. Koska nyt meillä on, hetkonen. Niin, tässä on nyt tallennus. Nyt me voidaan loadaa tää, sitten me voidaan... Mä haluan tehdä tähän meidän tommosen pysyvän save. Just ennen kuin paskausu tuuletti. Voiko tähän niinku... Health Building Day 4? No ehkä mä muistan, että se on toi... Niin sit... Nyt on tommonen... Niin sit jos mä quick savaan, niin mä en menetä tota kohtaa, niin mä voin jossain vaiheessa palata tohon, jos musta tuntuu siltä. Joo, en oo kyllä tyytyväinen. Voin vähän vahvasti harmittaa, mut... Edelleen vois tehdä tota vielä. Mikä tää? This door is open, you can walk right into Kim's room. En mä tiedä, eikä mä nyt jakseta täällä liikaa pyöriä. Joo. Ouch, that leg hurts. Maybe if you don't run it will be okay. Okay.
Next to the stack of bills, you see a note. A few lines jotted down in large, uneven handwriting, just as the writer was about to rush out the door. I'm sorry, I fucked everyone over. P.S. I didn't kill him. P.P.S. Gift upstairs.
A gift?
Seems she left in a hurry.
It's hardly surprising.
You look at her rough, jagged handwriting on the note. She was in a rush, but not panicked. Deliberate. Focused.
Niin se on... Tässä menee joku naru, minkä se on teipannut tonne, nyt me nähdään mistä se...
You see the same two neon-lit shapes. A man and a woman. Only now a red thread bisects the room, pointing from the antenna outside to the cupboard on the wall.
Ärsyttää, kun ei käy tai niinku tutki asioita kunnolla loppuun, sit vaan me huitelee menee eteenpäin ja sit se menee vituiksi sen takia.
A ray of backward motion explodes from his mouth to the roof outside, A prime, to then widen into a radius of locations in Martinez.
Where does the thread lead?
It suggests the bullet came from the extreme upper quadrant of possible angles. from a point beyond the roof. B triple prime.
No totta kai se tuli sieltä saarelta, mitä me ei käyty.
The island in the bay.
Is she trying to tell us the shot came from the island?
She thinks the perpetrator was standing on the ring antenna. That is where the thread seems to point.
How did she know how to do this?
She was there that night. She would have known precisely where the bullet hole was in the glass.
She had a long time to think about it after, standing on that roof, staring at the glass.
It also looks like there may be more to her skill set than we know. The question is, should we trust her?
I just don't know.
Neither do I.
This is also the only point of origin we haven't ruled out yet.
So it is.
For a second he seems tired.
Maybe we need to go to the island. Let's go to the fucking island. I'm going to the island. Are you in?
Of course, of course. I'm in. How do we get there? Joyce Messier had a sloop, but she's gone.
Niin onkohan se silleen, että sinne ei edes olisi voinut päästä mitenkään. Se on niinku tarkoitukselle ehkä jäänyt tossa. Huitelia, kato moroteera. Voi. Lilian, the net picker, she's tarring her boat.
Ah, yes, of course. The village. Let's go.
Olisikohan sieltä voinut pyytää kyytiä itse asiassa aiemmin? We may never know. Hardy Boyssa ei ole vähän vähemmän. Ups. No mitäs siinä lukee? Ja vielä verellä.
The graffito has been painted over the traces of the fight that took place here. It smells of blood and heavy fuel oil. This was Cindy the Skull.
Cindy the Skull. Looks like Cindy the Skull finally found the words for her masterpiece.
The lieutenant crouches, touching the fuel oil with his finger.
Looks like it. Yes. This is still fresh. It wasn't here yesterday.
I smell heavy fuel oil.
Some of it is even yours.
Nice.
Heavy fuel oil. Isn't that flammable?
Step back, Lieutenant.
The fuel oil catches fire immediately with an ominous hiss. A bright orange flash across the surface of the letters. Black smoke rises from the burning message.
Disco Elysium.
The lieutenant has taken a small step back. He looks at your face illuminated by the flames and nods silently. Then the fire falters.
Let's go to that island.
Slowly, the flames subside, the fuel burning out. The air still smells of mazout and springtime.
Tuoksuu keväällä. There is something down there. Okay. Mutta mitä? Onpas tuhkasta, kun ei saa juosta. Hidasta Dressman kävelyä. Kun mä en tiedä, onko se juoksenut, on se varmaan vähän nopeampaa, mutta kai se tekee jo jotain henkisesti, että näkee, että hahmo juoksee, niin tuntuu, että edetään mahdollisimman hyvää vauhtia, eikä Näin tuskasen hitaasti. Eikö se on tuolla varmaan se?
Officer, what happened? You're limping. Why are you limping? You look terrible.
Some people hurt
Is
me.
this from the shooting in town? We heard gunshots. Not that we don't hear gunshots all the time, but they were closer than usual.
There was an exchange of fire on Rue de Saint-Guylaine. It's nothing to be worried about, madame.
You didn't only get shot.
I have a question for... I dodged the second shot. I can also get not shot.
Well, good for you.
I have a question for you.
Of course. Can I help you with something?
We need to get to that island.
That won't be a problem. It's wind still and the tar just dried. We've got 2 days of relative sunshine ahead.
Can we borrow your
You
boat?
promise to bring it back. And no scraping the hull. I just got it nice and yellow. And no drinking on the boat. And no joyriding either.
Ja, ja.
Of course, ma'am.
Ok, äiti.
Day or two. Official police business.
Aye.
Not along.
The crow's feet disappear from the corners of her eyes as she smiles at you.
What's on that island? Aha, tätä ei aina näytetä. Nothing, just ruins. Used to be some kind of fortification there before the war for the communards. An anti-aircraft gun, I think. Bombed to bits in the landing. I haven't been there myself. Always steered clear of it.
Hasn't been there herself. Who has then?
You said you haven't been there yourself. Who has then, if not you?
My husband used to drink there. Him and his drinking buddies. Always seemed like a bad place to drink to me. People died there during the landing, you know. My mother told me.
Huh.
This must be one of the many fortifications that was used in the dying days of the revolution against coalition forces before they took this city.
The kids sometimes go there too. I know they do, on rafts. I tell them not to, but they bring back old bullet casings and such.
Which kids?
The twins. God forbid they bring the girl along on some rickety barge.
Can we maybe ask your twins about that place before we go? Would that be alright?
Be my guest. They've a strange way of talking. See if you can get anything useful out of them. I seldom do.
Is there anything I should know about getting there?
Most of it's sunken. Underwater. That means concrete underwater. Cut your boat if you're not careful. Be sure to enter from the south side. Water's deep there.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Aye, aye, Captain. Thank you.
Please be conservative with the fuel, will you? Just filled her up, but it's a small tank.
Niin me ei koskaan käyty tonkaan kunnolla keskustelua, me vaan pyydettiin sieltä nimisoppariin.
The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone while the other watches him do it.
Okay, kids, you've been to that island, right?
On that island?
Yes, that one. I need to know what's there.
That's, nothing. It's just a seafort and some plants. You can take a raft there. It's great. And we make a fire. We make a fire. Gather the sticks for the fire. And bullets. Or not real bullets, empty bullets.
Bullet shells. There are a lot of them left over from the war, but this could be important.
Wait, you mean shells?
I don't know what those are.
What then?
They're lights. The fire guy comes and
The fire guy.
Your nerve endings sting from the mention of a guy. They must mean a human being on that island, but it's cut off.
Someone lives on the island?
No. Yes.
Let's go with yes.
Why is he the fire guy?
Because he asks to put the fire out.
Why does he ask you to put the fire out?
I don't know. He doesn't like it. He doesn't like people to be there. You shouldn't go. Yes.
Because he doesn't want to be found. Smoke traces.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned something about lights.
I don't know.
Did you mean there are electrical lights?
Yes.
Is there anything else you can tell me about this guy, H? Does he live there?
No, he doesn't live there. I don't think. No, he lives there. Been there twice, 2 times. He doesn't live there. He isn't there sometimes.
Anything else?
What?
What does this guy look like?
I don't know.
How come?
We ran. He just yelled we shouldn't be there.
Your father used to go to that island too, didn't he?
Our father killed himself.
So, wow.
Don't say that, he didn't.
Say, your father did not kill himself.
I don't know.
Mika vaan, I don't
Doesn't
know.
even have anything to do with this, you. Father isn't the fire guy.
The two things are unconnected. Your question didn't make
No selkeä. Is that all you know? Is there anything more you can tell me about the island? It's the Monkey Island.
Lights, fire guy. We should check up on that island.
Yes. Bye kids. Nyt oletan, että se sen botski on tossa jossain laiturin nokassa. Siellähän se. Siellähän se. Ai niin, Mä nyt saa varmaan käyttää tuota quicksavea, enkö? Saan. Let's go!
A skiff with a small steering engine in the back floats on the calm mirror of the sea. Its 2 seats are empty. The boat's belly is a shiny yellow color, industrial paint over fresh tar. You see it reflect off the water, along with the factory number, A72. Once you get in, that's it. One pull of the starter handle, and you're off into the bay. A strange trepidation comes over you. Are you sure you want to go now? Have you made all the necessary preparations? Closed all your accounts? Remember what the net picker said. It's a small tank. You won't be going back and forth on this.
I'm not ready yet. Taas tuli tämmönen. Onks tääkin tämmönen joku point of no return? Tuleeks tässä pelkkiä tämmösiä? Pitääks mun tallentaa tähänkin tämmönen oma?
The skiff floats on the... Once you get in, have you made all... Remember what the net picker said. It's a small tank.
You take the engine, Kim. I'll hold the boombox. What? How else do we blast sad FM on our way to the island?
Fine. Let's blast Sad FM then.
Sad FM is a radio station specializing in sad, slow rock songs. You seem to know its frequency by heart.
Get in and ride to the island. Se oikeesti otti sen boomboxin. Oi voi. Hämis is playing Tekken 8 playtest. Ai niin se on nyt tänä viikonloppuna. Kaikki pelaamaan Tekken 8. Jos sitä pääseis pelaa, kun se on vaan joku network-testi. Liian vaikea. Tekken ihan helppo peli. Opettelee launcheri, opettelee ilmakombot. Se mä en tiedä miten Tekken 8 toimii, mutta 7 toimii sillä. Just lounge. Niin siis 7 kyllä alkaa olemaan. Ja sit pitäis kaikkien frame ja kolmasulottuvuus ja frame data pitäisi opetella ja jokaisen hahmon kaikkia, että pitääkö se blokkaa vai eikö se pidä vai pitääkö se punia ja millä punia ja pitääkö se sidesteppaa ja kummalle puolelle se sidesteppaa ja Musta silloin kun se kämppisi, sillä oli ihan Exceli mitä se täytti, kun se kävi siis hahmo kerrallaan joka päivä aina. Opiskeli joku 2 tuntia jotain hahmoa. Ai SF6 vähän kiinnostelisi. Tätähän nämä kaikki muut pelaa, tai pelas ainakin jossain vaiheessa. TR on kova siinä. Voit mennä TR:n kautta vähän matsiin. Mitä mä tiedän nyt, onko se hirveästi pelannut? Mä jotenkin siitä Street Fighterista jotenkin niin jaksa kiinnostua. Niin, ei varmaan olekaan. Kukaan ei pysty haastamaan TR tarpeeksi. TR on liian hyvä. Kahvimuki. Olette saapuneet kohteeseen.
Slow stop. The lieutenant turns the engine off. Then there's silence. In the silence, a sputter of wings. A flock of quails takes off in the distance.
Let's go.
Let's go. Makeshift bridge. Rusted chain trails off into the ocean.
The chain trails off into the ocean, connecting the island to the supply depot on the coast.
Sehän menee varmaan itse asiassa siihen bunkkeriin. This leads to the depot in Land's End.
Ah, yes. So it seems.
This means I sorta got into the depot door.
No, it doesn't.
Älä viittikin.
He's right.
What do you think it was used for?
Bringing munitions to the island, maybe? And supplies? You could also lock the bay when you raise the chain.
As a defensive measure, lock it off that side of the bay.
Lock it from whom?
From enemies. Enemies of the commune of Revachol. This sea fort was a revolutionary fortification, I believe.
Rakettit se kyllä sit niin samalta osakin. Niin se kyllä vähän tasaiset matsit on yleensä kivempiä. Mut siis on mullakin ollut kyllä joskus hauskaa sit. Pelasin sen Marfalon kanssa sitten Striveä. Niin välillä tuntui, että ne matsit oli niinku tasaisia ja ne oli hauskoja ja aina oppi jotain, mut sit silti ne oli aina jotain 31. Inflammable. Ai niin. englannin kielen hienouksia, inflammable ja unflammable.
The dry grass crackles under your feet as you stop. Far away, birds' wings touch the still surface of the sea.
Mikki ottaa jotenkin niin kovaa Mä en tiedä, onko mä häätänyt jotain päin helvi. Hyvä ne pari kertaa, kun kävit täällä paljon. Niin joo. Tokalla ei ollutkaan. Tokalla mä olin treenannut vähän enemmän.
The flock of quail departs, now more than 100 meters away. 102, 105.
Underneath the flatter.
On the islet, there is almost no wind, just the light movement of air through the reeds. Bulrushes swaying on the waterline, long dried leaves chafing against each other, like a silent orchestra tuning at the beginning of some major work, of great importance to the few who attend. A low hum. The air slowly moves through a concrete box, through its ancient slits and cracks, resonating, hollow. A big building.
To the west.
A silent hiss. Sea air moving through the needles of a pine tree.
To the east.
The faraway roar of the city, distant like today's dream. Before it, the sound of sand. The low tide filtered through its grains. A bird tending to its feathers.
Beyond that, further north.
Air flows out of a pillbox window. There is very little there. The air cossets flowers on a meadow. Absolute silence. Reeds motionless. Bulrushes motionless.
Below the silence.
Konda Mamadakwa.
Kim?
Yes?
It's really fucking silent on this island. Have you noticed how quiet is it? How quiet it is.
I have. Is that why we're stopping?
Wait, I have to listen to one more
The
thing.
lieutenant nods.
Nah. Nothing more. The stairs are gone. This was once an armament rest. Twin cannons were attached here. Medium distance, large caliber. Calibre.
An old cylindrical generator
That's
is
not a
resting
kell.
above the airlift, with makeshift
Hyvä.
electrical wiring running out of its side and across the floor. The cables disappear into the wall to your right. The lieutenant puts his hand on the metal barrel, checking for warmth.
It's cold now, but someone has been maintaining it. The wiring has been repaired.
Pour fuel into the
lieutenant
tank.
assists you, holding the canister up to the fuel tank.
No me löydettiin jostain joku random löpö.
Dark brown, viscous fluid pours out, and the room fills with a chemical smell. There's a red starter switch on the side of the cylinder and a start rope on the other side. The lieutenant flicks the switch.
Pull the rope.
The recoil start wakes the old generator up. The machine sputters like an old warhorse before settling down to a rattle.
That should do it.
Where do these wires lead?
Somewhere?
Up on the
The
side.
tank is far from full, but there should be enough inside to keep it going for a day.
Leave. Dishes stained with sauce and fire. Survivor's kitchen. Rubber shirt.
There's a greasy old spring mattress in the corner, resting on piles of soft cover books. White linen and a pillow are visible under a worn-out caracol blanket.
Someone has been squatting here. The linen is fresh, recently washed.
How recently?
You force the rest of the sentence out through pain, thick as molasses. no longer able to hear yourself speak.
You know, officer, you can rest here if you are feeling tired. I will keep watch. You could use some rest for what's ahead.
No time to rest now.
Yes, anytime. If you need a rest later, it's okay by me.
You don't have to be a hero.
Just startattiin toi generaattori, niin ei voi. Candles planted on a broken rangefinder.
Books and magazines lie scattered on the floor and on a makeshift cupboard. They are not particularly well organized. Most are soft covers, serialized fantastique and detective stories from the 20s and 30s. This disparate digest includes the classic Animal Adventures. Popular depictions of man versus nature by amateur naturalists T&T Harpin, husband and wife. Widely read by people from all walks of life. Who doesn't like nature? Who doesn't want to survive?
Survive.
Among what is mostly commercial fiction and serialized stories, you find a magazine cathodique for electrical engineering. Then it's back to pulp. Light erotica, an international thriller about circuit benders.
Someone's made themselves a home.
Does anything stand out as unusual?
Not that you can tell. This is a digest of someone who's dead bored. Most of it is for entertainment purposes, fittingly right next to the radiola on the floor.
Nothing
Maybe
out of
it's
this.
also old-fashioned. There's a nude mag. More than that, you can't say. The print in some of these is pretty small, though. This person has good eyesight.
Silmäinen kaveri asuu täällä. Meidän tark'ampuja.
Soft covers.
Tuota. Army surplus winter scarf. Armeija. Täällä asuu. Joo. Armeija tavaraa. Sleeveless aim. Light of the underclass. Sucks to be poor. Super logical for a cop to wear this. Insensitive bachelor party vibes. Awesome watchtower heels. Heels ridiculously high. Plussa ja miinus. Bangers don't cry. Mä jotain mä näitä luin jossain vaiheessa, mutta en mä tajunnut, että tää näin huutista. Too old for this shirt. Summer plans. Clinically insane. Work it. Ai se oli ihan questi, että me pitäis nukkua tää. Mä luulen, että mä voisin melkein lopetella tähän ja käydä tekemään iltapalaa, kohta pitää kuitenkin mennä nukkumaan. Ja jatketaan kun jatketaan. Pitää katsoa vaan, että mä tallennan johonkin oikeeseen. Esimerkiksi tälle ei ole enää mitään merkitystä. Tohon voi tallentaa. Day one. Nukkuni joku 4. No sit suosittelen. Go to sleep. Nopea Halls of Tormentti ja sit Witcheria siihen perään ja sit on taas aamu 8. Toi oli ennen kuin tultiin tänne. Ja toi oli ennen sitä, kun me ruvettiin sekoilemaan, jos me haluan sitä. Ja toi tälläkään seivillä ei oikeastaan tee enää mitään, mutta ei se mitään. Alright. Meikäläinen lopettelee. Kahtellaan taas joskus. Ai niin, joku sä vedit se 100 pinnaa läpi. Totta. Elikkä Stardew Valley. Mut, meikäläinen lopettelee. Hei hei, hyvästä ja hyvää yötä.